How's the royal family? I pray that everyone is doing well. Well, my royal family, my second premiere is playing. And I'd ask my subscribers, do y'all want the other explosive information that I have from Kendrick L. Wilson? And they told me, go ahead and put it out tonight, royal family. So this is going to be a very long video, very powerful, and I'm putting out information that may be taken down. So Kendrick L. Wilson have a lot of information, and literally his life is on the line. And what I have shown so far, the police have came to his home and even broke in his home. And I'm going to show all of that. So I'm going to play the videos that I have and how they came in, how he put it out. So let's read here. What happens if a video comes out of Breonna Hankinson going into the apartment after the shooting, removing bullets and other evidence? What kind of charges would he face, and the people who allowed this to happen? Who is Breonna Hankinson? Boss. Was he even on the crime scene? And does he know if Breonna Hankinson went in the apartment after Breonna was dead? These are the type questions that need to be asked. I have this whole case solved already. Share this post. If you truly want justice for Breonna Taylor, I promise you, I will deliver. Share, share, share. Fearless. Hit up the most famous person you know and tell them to share this. Now, y'all got to keep this on y'all frontal lobe. Based on even my research, when they went up back into that apartment, removing evidence and also contaminating, our queen was laying in there dead. That's just atrocious and horrible. So my royal family, we're going to go on this journey. It's a lot to unpack here. This is going to be very long, but powerful. All right, my royal family, let's go on this journey. Let's see here. Oh, excuse me. Okay. Get into this first one.
Drop the bomb on all the information and let y'all see it for your own eyes, what I got. At the end of the day, these videos is about to show y'all everything, and it's about to prove that they lied to y'all about the whole case, and that they was doing nothing but covering up corruption. And when I say they, I mean Breonna's legal team, Sam Aguilar, Benjamin Crump, and everybody else that was involved. I'm about to prove that they was covering up corruption.
What is it? That's not 20 hours. What's this address? Is anybody here dead?
Officer!
Yes.
Oh, you're waiting. Just calling it.
What's the address here?
Hey, 3003 Springfield apartment.
That footage that you just watched, that is Breonna Hankinson going into the crime scene after Breonna Taylor was killed, meaning that he was allowed to go in there and remove evidence. That footage that you just watched, that is Breonna Hankinson going...
Those are my rounds through those windows.
No, we down 3 times.
Baker, we have one, suspect 1015.
Don't try that.
That video you just watched was another officer admitting that it was his rounds that went through the windows that they're trying to say Breonna Hankinson shot out, but he didn't. That was that officer. That video you just watched was another officer.
Black female, there's a shot, and there's a black man in the wall gun that shot him when he hit the door.
That video that you just watched was officers admitting that Breonna Taylor was in there dead and that there was a shooter inside, and described them both perfectly to the T. That video you watched was Detective Cole Gibson, who is dirty as hell, the same cop that ran into my house, and he was apprehending Kenneth Walker, but his name has not been mentioned at all. That video, I got plenty more where this came from. What I'm trying to tell you folks is they covered up this whole case. It was nothing but corruption. Breonna's legal team was in on it, and I'm not sure if they showed Breonna Taylor the evidence that exists, but the bottom line is these folks lied about the whole case, and I'm here to expose it. Now, I know what I'm doing is super dangerous because I'm basically exposing the government and corruption in the justice system, and a lot of people tell me that I need protection, but I'm honestly fearless. But if I need the protection, I got the protection. My dudes is always around and they always watching everywhere I go. Even though it looks like I'll be by myself, I don't. We ready. Been ready. And take these Snapchats and blast them all over the world. They currently got me blocked on Facebook, but the word is out. I'm proving that it's nothing but corruption. Nothing but corruption. And take these Now this next video that I'm about to post is the neighbor that they had say he heard him knock, but they're basically holding him against his will and he screams, "I want to go home." Now this next video that I'm
3003 Springfield, apartment 3 and 2. What is it?
I want to go home.
I also got all types of phone recorded conversations, Cash App transactions. I got all types of stuff, man. I got everything. This whole case was a cover-up. They're covering up corruption. They try to get me to take part in it, but I would not take part in it. There was money and stuff that was paid for me, but there was calm down money, not hush money. As y'all can see, I'm still talking.
All right, my royal family, as we continue on, because I want this thing to flow and I don't want anything janky to happen, so let me just take this all the way down. Okay?
Right now, there's a live interview going on with Breonna Taylor's family, Breonna Taylor's lawyers, Breonna Taylor supporters, Until Freedom, and Benjamin Crump and all those people, Sam Aguilar, Anita Baker, you know, all the people who are participating in the process of attempting to make sure Breonna Taylor get justice. I've been watching this interview that's going on right now as we speak. This interview is going on. I watch to the point to where I can't watch it no more. I can't watch it no more, folks, because there's so much finger pointing going on at Daniel Cameron and all these people, which I understand why they're pointing fingers, but before you point fingers at anyone, and when it comes to these protesters and all these people down there, how many of you have took time out and pointed a finger at yourself? I'm just curious if Benjamin Crump and the rest of the legal team looked in the mirror and pointed the finger at they self when Breonna Taylor did not get the justice that she deserved. Because I just heard Benjamin Crump have the crowd chanting out that he wants Daniel Cameron to release the transcripts. But Benjamin Crump, this is what I want from you. And this is what the people should demand from Breonna Taylor's whole legal team. How about y'all release the evidence that y'all got to prove that Breonna was murdered? Since y'all keep on requesting for Daniel Cameron to do this and do that, how about y'all release to us the evidence that y'all got that Breonna Taylor was murdered? See, this is what people are not thinking about, folks, is all these people are doing is pointing fingers back and forth, back and forth. Daniel Cameron saying this, Breonna's legal team is saying that, but they're playing us, the public and the people, because nobody's releasing anything. And Daniel Cameron can't release certain things because it's unconstitutional for him to release certain things. So he has to be a person that abides by the law because of his position, and him being the Attorney General, he can get in a lot of trouble for things. So a lot of the things that they're requesting for him to do, he can't do. But y'all being Breonna's legal team, it's not unconstitutional for you guys to release any of the evidence that y'all have that can prove that she was murdered. Y'all stand on TV and y'all say she was murdered, but y'all don't give us any of the evidence or release any of the evidence. The AG has already made his decision. So how about y'all release the evidence that y'all have to prove that Breonna was murdered? I have a hard time believing that these people really want justice for Breonna Taylor. And the reason why is because these people are supposed to be attorneys and representing Breonna Taylor. But yet, these folks have yet to do anything with me and my case. And the reason why my case is so huge and important when it comes to getting justice for Breonna Taylor is because my case explains to you and it shows you on video exactly what type of cops Breonna Taylor was dealing with. My case shows you exactly how dirty they are. See, the reason why it's hard for me to support anything that these lawyers are doing now that claim they want justice for Breonna Taylor is because of this. Here I am. You got all these protesters. You got all these lawyers until freedom, and everybody want to brag about how many days they've been here in Louisville and fighting. I think today is 120 days now, okay? Folks, 120 days is how long they've been fighting. Folks, I have been fighting for over 1,600 days straight against Brett Hankerson, the only cop that got charged in this case, Brett Hankerson. I've been fighting for 1,600 days, over 1,600 days I've been fighting. And they're only on day 120. Not to mention, I beat him 3 times in the courtroom. 3 times I beat him in the courtroom. But nobody from Breonna's legal team, except for one person, which is Sam Aguilar, has approached me and talked to me about anything. Anything. Benjamin Crump was my lawyer for 1 week. For 1 week, he represented me. Never even got to meet the guy. Just talked to his law firm. And then for some weird reason, he dropped the case. Now here I am. I'm a guy that has video footage of this police officer planting drugs on me. I have all type of witnesses. I got so much proof that he's a dirty cop. I got him on video, admitting on video out of his own mouth that he planted drugs on me. Not once, but twice. I got this on video. And Breonna's legal team has done nothing with these videos and all this stuff that I got on these cops to show the world what type of cops she's dealing with. And the reason why my case is so important is because of this, folks. If I can prove on video that this cop planted drugs on me, and he's the type of cop that's going to plant drugs on somebody, then what does that mean he did at Breonna's crime scene. If he planted drugs on me, is it possible that this cop could have planted evidence or removed evidence from Breonna Taylor's crime scene? Very possible. If I can prove that he's already that type of cop and he's dirty like that, then what do you think happened at Breonna's crime scene? And that's why I got a hard time believing that these lawyers are really seeking justice for Breonna. Because if the news or if the police department had a person like me on their side and I had dirt on Breonna Taylor, the dirt that I had on Breonna Taylor would be all over the news, right? It'd be all over the news. They would be blasting this story about this person who got all this dirt on Breonna Taylor. The police and the media would be blasting that story, just like they blasted the story about her ex-boyfriend. But here I am with all this dirt on the police officers, and nobody's blasting the story. And you know what? Her attorneys is not even pushing for it. Therefore, I'm not even going to say I'm of the belief. I know 100% that those people are not out for justice for Breonna. I'm the only person in this whole situation that has everything to lose. I'm the only person that stood up for Breonna and was not getting paid for it. And I'm not talking about protesters. I'm talking about between these lawyers and all these people on TV who's claiming that they want justice for Breonna. I risked everything, including my own case. I went against my lawyer's advice. And I went down to our protest and I told my story. But I'm mad because I told my story because I wanted my story to assassinate the character and the credibility of those police officers. And it didn't. It didn't. People still to this day don't know how crooked those cops are. With all the video evidence I got, with the fact that I beat all of my cases, people still don't understand how corrupt and crooked those cops are. And I blame Breonna Taylor's legal team. Because they got all the access to the media. They're on TV right now. They got all the access. Everybody want to hear what they got to say. They could take my story and they could turn my story into a national story. And it would destroy that officer's credibility. But you know what? They failed to do that. Why? Why? And like I said, Benjamin Crump, you stood on that press conference today. You stood on TV with the national audience watching. And you asked for Daniel Cameron to release the transcript. Well, I'm not on national TV, but if y'all share this video, it can make it far as y'all want it to go. Just keep sharing it. I challenge Benjamin Crump. Black man on black man action right here. I challenge you, Benjamin Crump, and Breonna Taylor's legal team to release the evidence that y'all got to prove that Breonna was murdered. Because as long as y'all don't release the evidence that y'all got to prove that Breonna was murdered, then guess what? There will be no justice for Breonna. So justice for Breonna lies right there in y'all computers, lies right there in your office. So I challenge you, because I know what y'all got. I know exactly what y'all got. And for some reason, y'all can't release it, and y'all don't release it. You know why? I know why y'all don't release it. Because in that settlement, that $12 million, what y'all not telling the people, is y'all agreed not to release it. And here's the thing. Somebody better do something very soon, or else I'm going to push the goddamn button. Think I'm playing if you want to. Y'all release it, or else I will release it. And y'all know what I got.
And he has released that information. This brother is not playing at all. Now, what y'all getting ready to hear next is Kendrick L. Wilson talking to Sam Aguilar. This is Breonna Taylor's family attorney, the bald head dude. All right. Now, I know some people have been complaining about the audio. I have no control of what comes in. I only have control of how I got everything set up. But some people I did read said when they would put on some type of head device or earbuds or something, they can clearly hear. So there's going to be distortion. But when you are putting information out that's pertinent like that, all you can do is just put it out. And like I said, wherever it lands, it lands. So I want to keep this thing flowing because this is long. This is long. So I'm going to blow this up. I'm not saying there'll be much to watch, but just blowing up for the sake of. All right. So let's listen to this. Let me go all the way back because I don't want to miss nothing.
Nobody's gonna find him. Even fucking death threats last night from the fucking mayor of Kansas Security, Charles Alexander, calling my phone and fucking giving me death threats. Now you'll know who it is when you see him. Yep, big bald-headed black dude, head of security, 33 to guard, Mason. He's everywhere. Always quiet, playing in the background, but you always catch him right there on camera.
Yeah, I believe it. Well, I came out super so I think about my I haven't watched the video yet. That one, I don't have any problem with the video. I was sitting out the case, and he said, on the counter, so I figured I'd give it a stand, so I'm out here.
Sam, I'm scared to meet with you or anybody man to man. I've tried that. I've been trying to meet with you man to man for the last week and a half.
I know, and I've been pretty stressed out, Kendrick. And I got, like I said, I got no problem. You have every right to be angry. You have every right to assume things. You have every right to think that I'm not out for.
Sam, you sold out. It's simple, Sam. You sold out, and I wasn't with that shit. And y'all can say it however y'all want to, Sam. You sold out.
I met somebody. I said, I think it hurts your feelings. When we took a settlement, we took it the wrong way.
No, it wasn't about the settlement, Sam. It was about the evidence that you and me had, and me and you put that case together, and we cracked that shit, and you did not put it out. That's what it was about. It wasn't about the settlement. It was about the fact that you did not get the information.
It makes sense. I think I've got a different mindset than you do on timing on this.
No, Sam. You let them get away with not having any charges. You let them get away with that.
Kendrick, there's something you don't understand. There's a big thing that you don't understand. The problem is you fucking leak everything I tell you. There is something...
Sam, no charges was brought against him. There should have been charges with the shit that me and you had on them. There should have been charges. And on top of that...
Kendrick, you don't understand that if I don't leak this, there could be charges.
No, I don't want to talk about could be. I want to talk about should be. I want to talk about should be. This is about should be. Right now, Brett Hankerson and the rest of those cops, which was over 20 fucking cops, should be sitting in jail facing murder charges. That's what should be happening. Let's stop talking about what could be, Sam. Let's talk about what should have fucking happened.
I got about 9 or 10 that are out there. I mean, I'm thinking, I don't think this is 20.
And you know what? You got your fucking 9 short. You're 9 short. Because only one fucking person is in trouble. And he's not even in no real trouble. I mean, y'all didn't even ask for the guy to be on home incarceration. Y'all didn't even put an ankle bracelet on him.
Real short. They all need to do. Do you really think that we could have got Cameron, or do you think that we can get Cameron now?
Sam, this is what I know. Sam, this is what I know. All you fucking people, Sam, you gave everything to Daniel Cameron?
Everything you and I talked
so
about.
So why the fuck didn't you call him out? Why didn't you call him out?
Do you not think I've been calling him out? Did you see what I did yesterday?
Okay, so look, answer this question. since y'all keep on requesting for Daniel Cameron to put out the what is the chant that Barry?
Transcript.
So y'all keep requesting for Daniel Cameron to put out the transcript. How about this? You put out all the fucking evidence that you got.
Did you not see what I put out yesterday?
You ain't put out what I put out. Put out all the evidence. Put out the video of Brett Hankinson in the apartment moving those cases. Put that video out.
Kendrick, it's going out in about 2 hours.
It's going out after I put pressure on you to put it out. The fucking thing should have been out before the decision.
Kendrick, it was out before the decision to the AG's office.
Sam, you should have fucking went to the public with it. The AG's not on our side, and you know this.
I know, but how can I go to the public with it? I would have been taken off the case right away.
Who gives a fuck? Is this about you making money or about you fucking getting justice for Breonna? Put the fucking video out all over the fucking social media.
Kendrick, I'm not worried about the fucking money. The millisecond that goes out there, I can't get justice for Breonna because I put one thing out and then I'm gone.
What do you mean gone? You mean killed?
What's that?
What do you mean you're gonna be gone? They gonna kill you?
No, I get removed from the case. If I put
Well,
that
you know
out
what?
before the damn
You know what, Sam?
announcement.
Well, you know what, Sam? I can promise you this. You put that shit out and you be the dude that gets removed from the case, but your evidence is the one that shows corruption. I promise you this. I will personally start a GoFundMe for you, and if you're the guy who got Breonna Taylor justice, you'll probably make over $50 million off your GoFundMe.
I don't care about the $50
Well, you're talking about getting removed from the case. What do you care about getting removed from a case that you're not bringing any justice?
Kendrick,
Sam, you tell me straight up. You fucking sold out.
Listen, let me finish. How would anything that I put out beforehand gotten Breonna justice?
Sam, you sold out. You did not put the evidence that me and you.
Answer the question.
No, I'm not answering no questions. I'm not answering your questions because you're an attorney and you come up with questions that are trap questions. I'm talking about facts. At the end of the day, Sam, me and you solved that fucking case in your office, and you did not put any of the body of work that me and you put out. You paid me $18,500 in 2 months for nothing. You didn't put none of that shit that I came up with out. None of it.
Kendrick, part of the reason I'm out here is because you never fucking told me that you put up the diagram, and I haven't watched the video because I don't want to hear what you have to say. Because frankly, I think I'd have a hard time with it. But you've been telling me forever that you drew a diagram of the house and that you wanted to tell me. I haven't seen it.
You know why, Sam? Because you too fucking busy going to pointless-ass meetings and kicking it with Tamika Mallory and all those motherfuckers and Benjamin Crump who ain't trying to bring no fucking justice instead of kicking it with the one guy who's the most passionate motherfucker in the world when it comes to getting justice for Breonna. You ignore me. You ignore me because you know I'm down to tell the fucking truth. And you're not on Team Truth right now. You're on Team Corruption. And I told you, and I meant this. If you was about justice for Breonna, I'd be your biggest fucking ally. But at the same time, I told you, if I find out that you're a part of Team Corruption, I'm going to be your biggest fucking nightmare. But now, I'm fucking Freddy Krueger.
Kendrick, that's fine. I'm not worried about that.
Oh, you better be worried. Sam, you better be worried.
Kendrick, why am I going to worry? Because if shit's going to happen, it's going to happen. So
Well,
don't worry about it.
Well, there's nothing else to talk about. There's nothing to talk about. There's nothing to talk about. I'm not talking about motherfucking.
All right. You know, when I played that first one, it was very distorted because I got it from another source. This source is much clearer. But like I said, I'm playing everything how it is coming in. So let's take this one down. This next one is long. And so y'all know I'm watching this stuff real time with the royal family. So this is the first time I'm watching this video with the royal family.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Corruption Court. And yes, I'm supposed to be in bed right now. And I'm very, very tired. That's why you see me in my half-ass outfit. But I dressed up a little bit because I do mean business. So what you have here is a diagram of Breonna Taylor's apartment and the crime scene where she was murdered at. Yes, I just got this off my thumbs. Y'all can laugh, because we've been having a rough week and a rough day, and we deserve to have a little laugh right now, so we're gonna get that laugh out. So back to business. What I have here is a diagram of Breonna Taylor's apartment. I'm gonna go over all the things in her apartment. So what you got here, of course, is the front door. You got the dining room, you got the kitchen, the bathroom, you got the hallway right here, which is where the shooting took place. You got the first bedroom, which I like to say the guest bedroom up here, and then you got Breonna Taylor's bedroom right here. You got a hallway that goes from the bedroom to the bathroom that's in the bedroom, that's a part of the main master bedroom. Then you have right here, which is Brett Hankinson's area. You got a glass patio door right here. You got a bedroom window and another bedroom window to Breonna's room. So I'm about to break down the facts that Daniel Cameron and the police department is supposedly giving us, and I want y'all to use your head, and I want y'all to stay with me and follow me with what they're telling us is a fact, okay? And watch this. Front door. We're gonna start with Officer Manley, which I have him right here. But in order to get right there, he must have started right out here at the front door. So Officer Manley enters the front door. These are the facts, folks, that they told us. Manley enters the front door. Breonna Taylor and Kenneth Walker is right here in the hallway, supposedly side by side. Kenneth Walker takes his gun with two hands and fires shots at Detective Manley once he's entered the house. Manley gets hit by gunfire that supposedly came from Kenneth Walker and is now shot right here inside the house. Detective Colegrove, or however you say his name, comes in the house. He immediately, simultaneously, fires shots along with Detective Manley. Manley fires 6. Cosgrove fires 16 for a total of 22 shots they're firing at Breonna Taylor and Kenneth Walker. Now watch this, folks, and follow me. These are the facts that they're giving us. Supposedly the facts. Watch what I'm about to do. Manley enters the home. He sees Kenneth Walker. Kenneth Walker sees him, supposedly, and fires one shot. Manley instantly fires shots back along with Cosgrove. Somehow, Kenneth Walker's chubby ass is able to make it into not the bedroom right here. Kenneth Walker is able to go from here to this room right here and hide somewhere up in this closet right here. And made a phone call to the police. Somehow, Breonna Taylor gets hit right here in the hallway, right in front of her bedroom. She gets hit. Now, riddle me this, folks. How is it that Kenneth Walker fires shots and then he can run and make it into this room and hide when he fired these shots, and he supposedly fires first? You think when Kenneth Walker fired his shot that Breonna just stood right there in the hallway and did nothing? It's human nature to run. Breonna would have ran in this room. How is it possible that Kenneth Walker can fire shots and with 22 shots coming back at him after he fires, he's able to run up and make it into this room door? That's not possible, folks. It's not possible. It's not possible, folks. Kenneth Walker made it into this room and Breonna Taylor got caught in gunfire right here in the hallway when supposedly she was right beside him. It's not possible, and Kenneth Walker fired first. If Kenneth Walker was firing the gun first, that means Breonna would have had the head start on him to go run in the room. Because as soon as the gunfire goes off, she's not going to sit in the hallway. She's going to run right in that room. It's not possible, folks. And supposedly, the other officers, so look, you got Manley who gets shot right here. You got Cosgrove who comes in and he's firing. probably trying to provide cover for Manley, supposedly. He's foreign. Then you got Brett Hankinson, who's out here, okay? Just roaming around. There's a glass door patio. There's glass windows right here in each room. Brett Hankinson's running around all right here firing shots. I'm of the belief, folks, that what happened is Kenneth Walker didn't shoot Manley. When Manley came in, Kenneth Walker fired a shot, probably landed somewhere right up in here. Manley ducks down on the ground. Upon him being ducked down on the ground, he fires off shots. Cosgrove comes in and provides cover for him, and he's firing all types of shots. Hankinson don't know what the hell's going on and want in on the action because he don't even know what the game plan is because he came in last minute on this stuff, so they say. He don't know what's going on. Manley firing shots all right here, and he hits Manley. Hankinson then runs all around here, and he's just firing because he just want action. He hits Manley. Who pulls Manley out once he gets shot? Or does he make it out the apartment by himself? There's only 3 cops right there involved, folks. So you mean to tell me one cop gets shot, another cop is out here, and then another cop is shooting and killing Breonna while all the other cops didn't fire their rounds and they just sitting there chilling, doing whatever they're doing? What was they? On Facebook, making statuses? What was they, eating donuts? You mean to tell me there was a total of 7 cops there, and while 3 cops are handling this situation and one gets shot as soon as he entered the apartment, the other one is firing, and then there's one on the outside of the apartment, what was the other cops doing? You mean to tell me during this whole shootout, they was just chilling, doing nothing and not firing their weapon? It's corruption, folks, and they're covering up something. Another thing I want y'all to pay attention to. The EMS, the fire department, police department, SWAT, the police's boss, our bosses, the coroner, detectives, people who live in the apartments, witnesses, and Kenneth Walker. Every last one of those people is supposed to have a statement. But the most important thing that nobody's talking about is what is the EMS's statement? And what does the EMS say about the gunshot wound? Does the EMS say that the gunshot wound had an exit and an entry? Does the fire department statement say that? What does the police department statement say? Does the police department bring in a private doctor, or do they go through the doctors that was on the scenes with the EMS, or do they go through the doctors that was at U of L Hospital? SWAT, they was there. Did SWAT have body cameras? What was SWAT's statement? What all officers did SWAT catch on body cameras, and what was they talking about? The SWAT's body cameras show any officers entering the apartment after the scene, after the shooting? Which bosses for all these polices came there? I'm sure all these police came from different departments. Did their bosses come? When did Brett Hankinson leave the scene? Did he leave the scene before his boss showed up, or did he leave the scene after his boss showed up? And if he left the scene after his boss showed up, did he have his boss's permission, or did he break the law by leaving a crime scene without his boss's permission? And when he left the crime scene, why did he leave? Coroner, what is their report? That's the people who report that Breonna Taylor is dead. They make it official. Detectives, how does their statements line up with the EMS, the fire department, the police department, SWAT, the bosses, the coroner? And more importantly, how does everybody's statement line up with Kenneth Walker's? Supposedly, all these people, their statements pretty much line up. Kenneth Walker is saying what the police said. I'm not really sure what the EMS is saying because we ain't heard from them yet. And it might be against OSHA violation for them to come out and say something, but they need to say something. We need to know, was there entry and an exit with this bullet? What's SWAT saying? SWAT is the people who come there and they clean it up because there's a threat and they have to make sure it's safe. So when the police ran out, because they ran out, they didn't get Kenneth Walker. SWAT comes in and then they talk Kenneth Walker along with the police department, make him come out, but then SWAT is the first people to enter and make sure the crime scene is safe. What does their video show? How consistent is SWAT's video with the pictures that the police department is presenting to us online? Was the evidence moved and was casings picked up? Because there was only 15 shots and 34 casings found. Meaning somebody went in an apartment and moved casings. Who did that? Now me personally, I know Brett Hankinson's a dirty cop. So my question is, did Brett Hankinson go back into the apartment after the crime scene was taken over by SWAT? And if he went back in that apartment, does SWAT have Brett Hankinson on video? That is a big time question, folks, that nobody is asking. A big time question. What I'm trying to explain to you folks, we have all of these different agencies and people involved. And the only story that we're getting is the police, of course the coroner reported her dead, and Kenneth Walker, and the witnesses. Another question is, does the EMS have any ties with any of the police officers that was involved with the search warrant? Have they worked with them before? Did they go to high school with them? These are questions that need to be asked. And right now what I'm going to do, I'm going to go to my co-counsel and I'm going to have her read off some questions because I got some questions I want to ask. Some questions that I have written down, and I'm going to have her read off these questions, and some of them I've already said, but she's going to repeat them because I got them all in order. And I want y'all to think about these questions.
So the first question is going to be, who challenged this case to the point that FBI had to come in and investigate?
Who challenged this case to the point to where FBI had to come in and investigate? Because what Kenneth Walker is saying is lining up with what the police is saying. And the witnesses are now telling the story that's lining up with the police too. So what made them red flag it to where the FBI and other agencies had to come in?
All right. Next question is, who are the officers who patrolled the crime scene after the shooting?
Who are the officers that patrolled the crime scene after the shooting? That is a big time question, folks. Because some of the officers that came to the crime scene had on body cameras. What all did they catch on their body camera? What kind of conversation was going on? And was any of the officers that responded to the crime scene after it became a crime scene, do they have any ties with any of the officers that was involved with the raid? Personal friendships? Do they do other things together? And was they involved in any other raids earlier that day or night? Big time question that nobody's asking.
So if they say Hankinson is innocent until proven guilty, then why did they reward Breonna Taylor $12 million prematurely at that?
Everybody's asked that question, but I'm asking again. If these cops and everybody is so innocent, why did they give these folks $12 million? I'm not even going to elaborate on that too much because we know what's up with that.
So if her neighbors were violated, or they became priority over Breonna, then how much money is the city willing to give them?
If the neighbors was violated more than Breonna Taylor, because they're saying everything that happened with Breonna Taylor was justified, and the neighbors is the one who got the charges against Brett Hankinson, then how much money should they get if Breonna Taylor got $12 million and she was in the wrong and everything that they did was justified? How much money should the neighbors get?
Okay. So who made the call to Brett Hankinson?
Who made the call to Brett Hankerson? Who brought Brett Hankerson in on this? They stated that Brett Hankerson was not originally a part of this raid. Whose idea was it to bring Brett and why? Because y'all all supposedly hate Brett and y'all all know he's a dirty cop, so why was he invited in?
So how credible is the witness who said he heard police announce themselves?
How credible is the witness that says he heard the police announce itself? Does he have any ties with the police department? Does he have any family members that's a police? How credible is this guy? Does he have any charges pending against him? These are questions that need to be asked. Is he known as a liar? Is there anybody that can vouch for him and what type of man he is and what his character consists of? Is this guy about money? Could he be bought out? What type of guy is he?
Okay, so I have some facts here, which you've already touched upon.
We're about to go on the facts.
So Sergeant Mattingly enters apartment.
Mattingly enters the apartment and he sees Kenneth Walker. Kenneth Walker fires a shot at Mattingly, hitting him. These are facts.
So how does Breonna get shot in the hallway, yet Kenneth does not get hit?
How does Breonna get shot 6 times, folks, and Kenneth Walker don't get hit at all? How? And he fired the first shot.
So was the 9mm registered to Kenneth, and where did Kenneth aim his gun?
Was the 9mm gun registered to Kenneth Walker, and when Kenneth Walker was shooting his gun, what exactly was he aiming at when he shot his gun?
Were the officers shooting in standing position, on their knees, or laying on the ground when they shot their guns?
When the officers shot their guns, was they in standing position? Was they on their knees? Or was they army crawling? What was their position when they were shooting their guns, and why? These are great questions, folks, that nobody's asking.
Which side was Breonna standing on? The right or left side of Kenneth?
What side of Kenneth Walker was Breonna standing on? The right or the left? This question is super, super crucial and critical. Which side, folks? Nobody's asking these questions.
So 22 shots were fired, and somehow Breonna got hit with 6 of those shots. But the actual alleged shooter Kenneth doesn't get hit.
Right. Kenneth Walker did not get hit. He didn't even get grazed, folks. How is that possible? It's not possible, folks. Think about it. It's not possible.
Do any of the police officers involved in the raid have registered 9mm guns in their name?
Does any of the police officers that was on the scene working the raid have registered 9mm guns in their names? The police and Daniel Cameron have came out and said that these police work with 40 cals. But does any of them have 9mm registered in their name? And how many of these police officers was carrying backup guns? Great question, folks, that nobody's asking.
So what was Brett Hankerson's position during the raid originally? And what was every cop's original position?
What was every single cop's original position during the raid? What was Brett Hankerson's original position during the raid? Great question. Great question. I can't wait till I get the answer to that.
Who was the person or officers who red flagged this case, saying Brett Hankerson was shooting recklessly?
Who was the person or officers that red flagged this case and said that Brett Hankerson was shooting recklessly? Who did that? Who came out and said that? Who made that statement? Who red flagged that? Great question.
How did Officer Mattingly make it out of the apartment after being shot?
How did Officer Manley make it out of the apartment after being shot? This question is so powerful. I cannot wait until they give us the answer. I think I've heard the answer, but I'm not sure. I've heard different stories on different news, but I'm going to double check, folks. I cannot wait to get this answer.
How many bullets were found in Kenneth's gun?
How many bullets was found in Kenneth Walker's 9mm clip, and was there a bullet in the chamber? Was there a bullet in the chamber when they took his gun? Great question, folks. Great question.
So we're asking who manufactured the bullets in Kenneth's gun, and also who is the manufacturer of the police bullets?
Who is the manufacturer of Kenneth Walker's bullets, and who is the manufacturer of the police bullets? Are they made by the same company or two different companies? This question right here, super powerful. Super powerful.
Are officers allowed to use their police gun or backup bullets for personal use?
Are police officers allowed to use their officer bullets for their backup gun for personal use? Are the bullets that's issued to the officers allowed to be used in their personal guns? And another question is, does the police department issue them bullets, or are they responsible for buying their own bullets? These are great questions, folks. Great questions. Great questions, folks. Great. Nobody's asking these. You got these black leaders who's on TV every day. They hogging up all the news, but they're not asking none of this type important shit. But they're supposed to be so smart, but they're not asking none of this. And they're supposed to be on our side, but they're not asking these questions. Well, you know who's going to ask them? Kendrick Wilson, because I am on their ass.
Can any of the cops validate each other's story? If so, then who?
Can any of the cops vouch for each other's story? If so, which cop's story line up the best, and which cop stories don't line up? Woo! Woo! Yeah. I'm about to change my name to Kendrick Cochran. I swear, I'm cold.
What about Brett Hankerson being charged for wanton endangerment on a police officer?
What about, woo, I love that I came up with that one. What about Brett Hankerson being charged with wanton endangerment on a police officer? He was shooting through a glass window when his counterparts, his brothers in blue, was in the exact same room he was firing bullets in. Wow.
How many officers were tested for gunpowder residue?
How many officers was tested for gunpowder residue? A lot of people don't know this. When you fire a gun, that residue jumps into your skin, and they can test you for that. How many officers was tested for that? Great question.
Who was Mattingly aiming for?
Who was Detective Manley aiming for? Who was he aiming for when he fired his gun? Woo! Manley, well, how are you going to answer that one, brother? How are you going to answer that one?
Will the EMS or SWAT team be witnesses? Did they have body cameras? Did they have names of all officers on SWAT team body cameras?
Will the EMS and the SWAT be called in as witness? And will they be able to identify the names of all the officers that was captured on their body cameras, if they had on body cameras, which they should because they are SWAT, will they be able to name all the officers that entered their apartment after them or before them, or when they got there, did they see anybody coming out or going in? And when they left, did they see anybody going in after they left? This question right here is powerful. And it's going to tell them. I got a feeling this question right here is going to be the one that gets them. Kendrick Cochran.
Will cops who arrived on scene be called as witnesses? And will their body cameras be used as evidence as well?
Will the cops that arrived on the scene after it was considered a crime scene be called in as witnesses? And will they body cam footage be used in this case? Because conversation is powerful. And from the video that I seen online, when they was telling Kenneth Walker to get out, a lot of them cops was talking to each other. Woo-wee. What was y'all talking about? What was y'all talking about? And my final question is, what was each and every last one of those cops doing 48 hours before the raid and 48 hours after the raid? And when did Brett Hankinson leave the crime scene? And did he alert anybody that he was leaving and tell them what exactly he was going to do? I got him.
All right, my royal family. I do agree with this brother that I know the DA ain't coming with none of this. And homeboy don't even have a degree in law. So, as we continue on, like I said, I'm going to play everything that was provided. And I'm just showing this. This is his, this brother's Facebook. I don't know how much longer his Facebook will be here. So now we're going to go, let me check this real quick. Oh, that's what I read. Okay, now we're going to go to his Instagram. I'm not going to play everything on Instagram. I'm going to play what I feel that is necessary. The link will be there so you can check it out yourself. But there were some things that he did put up today. And so the first one that caught me is I'm going to play this first one here.
So I just got off the phone with CNN, CBS, MSNBC. There's been a lot of people calling me. Y'all get ready. It's going down. On top of that, death threats are still coming in, but I'm ready. So it is what it is. I'm going to get this justice for Breonna Taylor. It ain't over. Y'all stay hopeful. Hey, y'all make sure y'all support me. Y'all now realize I'm not crazy. I'm just a real one. I'm standing up. And at the end of the day, I promise y'all, I'm going to personally make sure Breonna Taylor gets justice.
Great.
So I just got off the phone.
That is greatly appreciated, Mr. Wilson, because you see the players in this, because he went directly to Crump and his cronies, and they played him off, and I guess they thought that he wasn't going to do it. Well, he did it. So, let's get into this next one. Now you see here, he posted this 15 hours ago.
Look, man, I really need y'all to share this, man. They just broke in my fucking house, but I'm not home. You know what I mean? They won't come to where I'm at because they know what I'm sitting on and what I got with me. But they just broke in my fucking house. It's 5 o'clock in the fucking morning. Alarm and shit came in through my basement. They came in my through my basement looking for me. I need y'all to share this shit to the world. The motherfuckers just broke into my house. But I dare you motherfuckers to come to where I'm at. Y'all know where I'm at, now come to where I'm at, motherfucker. I'm unloading every goddamn thing. Look, man, I really need y'all to share this.
Okay. Now, when he was putting out some information last night, they was on the hunt. And here's one of the pigs. Like, okay, he has a picture here because he got surveillance. So this is a pretty stocky dude. He has an alarm system. And you would think that these people that work in this field wouldn't even pull shit like this, but they feel like they invincible, and they have a coon DA that'll, you know, clean them up of any dirt that they lay out. Okay, let's look at this little bit of footage here.
He's got a ring camera.
All right, that's the end of that, my royal family. As we continue on,
Man, y'all broke in my crib because y'all knew I wasn't home and y'all trying to use it as a scare tactic. But y'all know where I'm at. I dare y'all to run in here. Come to where I'm at. I got a question for y'all. Who's running in first? Make sure it's Brett Hankinson or Cole Gibson that running this motherfucker first. Come get me. Man, y'all broke in my crib because y'all knew I wasn't home and y'all trying to use it as a scare tactic.
so they coming at them. These people are not bright at all because of the fact that Crump and his cronies would not take heed to what this brother is saying. He's putting it all out, and he's doing everything openly. Now, like he made this announcement here earlier today. Check this out.
Hey, yo, check this out. I need everybody to come to the Bryson Tiller basketball court over at Wyandotte Park. Be there by 2:30 if y'all support me. Everybody, the whole city. Hey, yo, check this out. I need everybody to come to the Bryson Tiller basketball.
So I'd imagine anybody that are his supporters, he's not trying to conduct any secret meetings anymore. He's doing everything wide open. And in certain situations in life, especially when you're dealing with law enforcement or the government, because they do things in secret, you have to expose them in this fashion in order to protect yourself. Okay, let's get into this, and I have something to say about what I'm going to show next. Okay, so you get a gist of it. So, you know, what I'm showing is not hard to find. I know that law enforcement is watching this, and he wants them to know, because I know this is fearful. He wants them to know that he has protection. And I was talking about this on Santine's channel, and I remember a statement that I had made to my husband years ago. I said, never let the enemy know your strengths or weaknesses. Always keep them wondering. So there is an element that in this war, that an element where we keep it abreast, because you don't want to, I understand you trying to lay it out like that, but you know, this can give them an excuse that you got the stuff illegal, then they got to go send SWAT to engage you and all those things, my royal family. Okay, as we continue on, he been putting up footage all day.
Hey, man, I'm trying my best to respond to everybody, but I just can't, man. I got the whole country hitting me up. I can't respond to all y'all, man. I'm trying my best. Everybody wants to interview. I got national media, every major news outlet is calling me. I'm trying my best to talk to y'all, but my phone's blowing up, and my job is done, man. I did what I had to do. It's over with. Meanwhile, I don't know the person that created this hat, but it's a dope hat. I love it. It's a it's a local person here in Louisville. I don't know his name, but it's called Feeling Rich. Y'all go support that, man. This hat's comfortable as hell, and it looks cool on camera. So y'all go support Feeling Rich. I wish I knew the guy's name that clothing brand this is, but I don't. But I'm going to plug him, man, because this is a beautiful hat, man. So y'all go support Phil and then the letter N, Rich. Hey, man, I'm trying my best to...
So this is, I'm not going to play anymore. This is going to be interesting to see my royal family, since this brother is putting out information that is explosive, very explosive. And I really wonder if mainstream media have balls enough to put this out. Because, see, you know, they can interview you and they like to orchestrate it. Anytime some of the interviews I have done, or me and Lisa Cabrera have done together, you know, whatever you say is going to be said, it ain't going to be cut. So, Crump and them was not willing. And I bet you, you know, Crump just said, you know, just get him out of my face. Crump know who he is. And just play with him, you know. And they gave him money. They thought that was going to shut him down. No. See, the spirit of Breonna Taylor is all over him. It reeks and screams. So he has embodied Breonna Taylor's spirit, and he is restless until there is a sense of justice. A sense of. Ain't that deep, my royal family? I'm going to keep a close eye on this thing, because we don't know the twists and turns, but we know what he on. You know, it's like, okay, you want to toy with me? Want to blow me off? This is a human being. And then I can understand him knowing the internal stuff that's going on, how we have called it from literally day one when Mushmouth Crump is representing these families. We know that he's a civil attorney and he's after that bag, and that is it, and that is all. And it's like you don't want to stir the pot and you don't want to present whatever's there. And, you know, the brother said something interesting along the line that there could be a possibility that they agree to suppress it as long as you break them off. 12 million ain't even close to enough. So it's a lot of snakes slithering, literally, all around Breonna Taylor's family. And so I pray, Father Yahweh, that you fully protect Breonna Taylor's family, and also her extended family, her royal family, anyone that has been very sincere and know Breonna Taylor. I pray to the depths of my soul that they are fully protected. So, my royal family, I'm going to leave it right there. So what I need you to do is render your voice with your beautiful divine words. And as always, my royal family, I thank you for your love, and I thank you for your support. And with that said, Ashe.